slow. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 rise. Messengers of Jesus Christ, fighting till we see His kingdom. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 rise.
Welcome back, We Rise podcast.
Yo, we
I got
we back.
Is it going?
We're back in the
it's
building.
Oh, that's a delay.
I got JT.
Hold
JT looking like.
on, let me do the introduction. So, first of all, we're back. We missed you guys last week. It's good to be back this week. As usual, we have the incredible one himself, the only MMA champion in Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd, the Hulk, that looks scary, Chattel. And our esteemed co-host, Mr. Jared Tillinghast, couldn't be with us today. So we got a Jared looking like this man right here next to me needs no introduction.
Jared look-alike.
Jared's out
Jared's
saving
hero.
buffaloes.
He needs no introduction. He is a man that was a former Chippendales dancer. He's the only man that graced the cover of Men's Health magazine 3 times in the same year. He is the look at Todd. He's like, really?
You didn't know that?
He is
You didn't know that?
the founder,
I'm just saying.
CEO, and president of SFBN and Naked Sports.
Yeah, Naked Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. He's the guy that makes all you high school athletes a household name because of this man right here. But he needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our esteemed co-host today. The guy is coming from behind the camera today, our producer, Ron Robert in the house.
Robert.
Hello.
Ron Reginald.
Ron is in the house.
You can call me whatever you want.
Do we call you Jared?
You can call
Jared! You kind of, you mean...
Ma.
There you go. That's Jared too.
Ma. I just want to say
There you go.
hello to Sebastian. Hello,
You
Sebastian.
gotta say Julian
love
too.
you.
You can't
Daddy
say
loves
Julian.
you, Julian.
There you go. You get the fingers. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
And I'm here with the Hulk. Looking nice and tan today.
And I always look nice
And Marvin,
tan.
you
I
can't
always
really
look
tell.
nice and tan.
I don't know what's going on here. Looks like he's getting ready to rob a bank.
There you
So,
go. There you
all
go.
right.
So
Let's
now
go.
we're back. It's good to have Ron here. Ron is the producer and owner of the network that we broadcast on. Coming from behind the camera. Thank you for sitting in for JT
No
today,
problem.
sir. We appreciate having you.
No problem.
So tell us about Ron Robert and tell us.
Wait, I'm on it? I
Yeah, come on,
I thought I was
you
just
said
helping
you were
out.
following my lead. I'm handing it off. So tell us about your endeavors so people know who you are and how
All
to
right.
get in touch with
All
you.
right, so
you did have like a food.
We got a whole bunch of
All right,
stuff.
let's go. Let's hear it.
all right. So anyway, our main
Thank you,
company
Ron. So anyway,
is RLR Enterprises, and so RLR Enterprises, and we own Fans Only Sports Network, which you can find this show on. Naked Sports, which you can find this show on. We also own RR Elite Recruiting, which is a new company that we've launched to help high school kids find their path to college athletically, find the school that they want, all that good stuff, right? So you guys want to go to rreliterecruits.com, check that out. And also we have Food Junkies, which we're doing some stuff. We got a great show on there. We're looking for bloggers, so if anyone
I
wants
want to be
write
a
about,
co-host.
oh, you do?
I want to be a co-host.
On the food show?
Yeah.
You think-
Oh, wait, yeah.
you're
well,
buying the food,
well,
right?
no, not me.
What do you mean? No.
So,
I I just want to be a coach.
That's
The
possible.
network pays for
Well,
food.
we go places. Matt's been doing some
I'm a
stuff. But
food connoisseur.
Ron Kaplan,
Me
you
and
are?
both. I got a nice palate.
All right,
man.
so listen. Anytime you guys want to do something like that, we go to
you
festivals.
heard it. You heard it right
But
here
if,
first.
but you know, you guys want to go out to eat and you want to take pictures of it all, and we
I
can
just want
work
to
on
eat. I don't care
Let's
about
do
the
it.
bitches.
we can work on
Let's
stuff.
do it.
I
So,
just want to
but
eat.
anyway, we have all social media accounts and all that stuff. You can find these guys there too, and yeah. So
All right, thank you, bro.
that's it.
Now, do you want to give us your websites or anything where people can contact you?
They're watching us. They gotta know.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go to rlrenterprises.com and all you can attach to it's attached to all of our websites. You can like get access to all of them right from rlrenterprises.com.
Now, as I mentioned, you do all the high school sports stuff as well, right?
Yep, we have Matt here too. Matt does all the play-by-play calling for all the games.
It's not bad. I mean, because I
Yeah.
remember back in the old days, because I'm a little older than you. I'm 35. You must be 20, 28, something
Yeah.
like that.
47.
So I'm a little older than you. So I remember back in the day, they used to broadcast some of the high school stuff on the major networks, like Channel 10, especially.
Yeah, like few and far between those.
Yeah,
Especially
but-
for Rhode Island, you didn't get anything.
not
So
now.
we've done over 100 games this year. All sports, right? Hockey was huge. We did all Division I hockey in Rhode Island, and now we have University of Rhode Island Division I men's hockey. We're the proud partner to broadcast their games this year coming up. Big one for us. Providence College women's hockey is right on the verge of coming on with us. So I think we're going to make that happen as well. So that's big, big time D1. I mean, they're club. URI is a club, but I mean, they compete against Syracuse, Drexel, Oswego State. You name the big hockey schools, they compete against them. So, yeah, we got a lot happening. But
Awesome.
but we created this company. Let's see, a little over a year ago, and Podcasting Network was right at the top of our list. So we ended up bringing these guys on board about 7 months ago. We were all just kind of debating how long it's been. Our company's only really been around for a little over a year, so basically since the beginning. And we have 14 shows now, and this one's been running for 7 straight months. Now, in podcast world, I would say that's pretty darn good. You know, some shows on TV, they go for one season and get cut. These guys have been going for 7 straight months. Pretty good. It's
Them
impressive.
hanging there a little longer
It's,
than I
it's
should.
impressive. Yeah. So anyway,
24
and,
professional fights. So
you know, so
take
thanks.
them on the chin.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you know, thanks to Jared and Todd and Marvin, you guys do a
So-
great job here. So
So speaking of fighting and all that, there's a special announcement that I have to make. I was ordered to make it by Mr. Jared Tillinghast. But before I say that, I just want to let everybody know we're shooting live today from Legendary Boxing Gym here in North
Hoorah.
Providence, Rhode Island. Team
Gonna
Legendary
be
in the house.
legendary.
2051 Smith Street, North Providence, Rhode Island. So if you want some fantastic boxing training and conditioning and education, this is the place to be.
Unless you, or if you want to meet the world-renowned Marvin Barnes.
You could do that here as well, or even better, New England's very first MMA champion,
Ooh.
Todd the Hulk.
They
Chappelle.
can't take that one from me. They can't take that one from me.
And also, again, Todd, I got to make a special note. Todd Chappelle,
Oh,
the man to
geez.
my right over there, that big monster
doing that
man
right
right there, is
Yeah, it's
going
already
to be
happening.
making a comeback boxing fight. Not MMA, you heard it right. He's going to make a comeback boxing fight within what, the next month or two? 2 months?
No. Probably about four
4
5
months, 4 or 5 months. So
Yeah.
keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
First pro boxing.
really,
Yeah, I always. So I got into MMA. I got into boxing first in the training school when I was a kid. I was just boxing.
Now you were
It
a
was-
correctional officer there, right?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, go ahead.
One of the staff in there was Brooksy Benton.
Brooksy
They,
can throw,
yeah, they were known for like boxing. The Bettons were known for boxing, dude. And I always used to try to talk to him. And then I started jump roping every day just to show him like I was dedicated. Like I was literally doing like 10 3-minute rounds of jump rope just to show him. And I got really good at jump roping. And then I started doing boxing. Then Chuck Sullivan would come in the third shift and take me in the laundry room. And everybody knows Chuck Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
You know Chuck Sullivan. No, Chuck Sullivan. You know who Chuck Sullivan is.
I don't know who he is.
So Chuck Sullivan would take me in the laundry room and like show me how to dip and throw punches and things like that. But this is the funny part. When I first started learning how to box, Brooksy's southpaw. So he taught me how to box southpaw. I'm right-handed. So now I'm boxing for a little bit, learning, practicing everything Brooksy's teaching me. And then there's a kid in there, Rennie Gorman. He's like 6'4", 6'4", big kid. Me and him went body like a week prior to what I'm about to tell you. He hit me with a body shot, went down to one knee. I was like, oh, big kid. So a week later, they're out there like, throw the gloves on, box, this and that. So the kid's all souped up, you know. He's like, I'm gonna wreck Todd. I've been training, you know, with Brooksy, doing it on my own, shadow box in my room, whatever. We put the gloves on, overhand right, boop, put him to sleep right on the couch.
So that's what you can expect in this comeback fight right there. You heard it here. Overhand right, and you're going to sleep, whoever's opponent is.
When's that happening? You already have a date?
No. So they're looking for opponents for me right now.
So that's not good. All right, forget it. So hold on a second. So Todd might have a fight.
No.
I don't know.
I'm all
no
in.
one wants to fight
I'm all
Todd.
in.
I know you do. But you got to find an opponent. Someone wants to fight him.
Ron, what do you
There's other guys.
200.
Ron Robert.
No, it's not
live professional boxing.
Marvin should do it. You're the one.
I'm gonna
Marvin's name's up on the wall.
I'm gonna negotiate.
Marvin's name's up on the wall.
I'm gonna since the jobber pay. I'll take one punch, go down.
That's not gonna work.
If I don't be over,
You can't do that. You already ruined it. Now we're not gonna be
Todd and Matt.
We would have used you, but you messed it
What
up.
about Jared? Jared's ready. I saw him working out.
Jared's part of the team. We ain't fighting each other.
Jared's training me.
It's a joke.
Jared's actually thinking about making a comeback himself.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait till he gets back and let him talk about that because I don't want to.
But shouts out to Mr. B, Jimmy Birchfield Sr. He'll get me a fight.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
He'll get me a fight.
Yeah, he'll get you a fight.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So talking about fighting, we had some fights come up. We had a slew of really great guests over the last month and a half. We haven't had an opportunity to really kind of reflect on those guests and some of the current events. So we're going to take the time tonight and discuss some of those. But staying with the fighting theme, we had a couple of interesting competitions that happened recently. Logan Paul actually fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, I have my own personal opinion on that, but I'm going to let the Hulk go first because he's bigger and stronger than me. Hulk, what do you think about that? Thank you, Hulk. So now,
I think it went as expected. He's a lot bigger and stronger. So
no, I need it. I'm taking notes.
So Mayweather, was smart, but I feel like Logan Paul did a lot better than I expected.
So wait a second. So
like
the fight went 8 rounds, right?
Yeah.
And that's Logan Paul's really first professional fight, even though he fought one other professional
and he lost.
Fight. Right. But he lost against KSI. That was a 6-rounder right there. This was an 8-rounder against arguably the best welterweight in the world because Floyd was at his best at 47. Yeah. Right? So does it hurt Floyd's legacy to have a YouTuber with one professional fight that he lost against another YouTuber go 8 rounds of boxing?
Yeah, I didn't get. Yeah, that kind of does. I don't know if it hurts it, but it puts a chink in his arm,
right?
No, because no one took that seriously.
Yeah,
it was fixed,
including him.
No one took it seriously.
But I want to say this: as I'm watching the fight, I think initially Floyd was playing around and not taking it seriously. Then he realized, by his own admission, that Logan Paul was a lot better than he thought. Like he could actually box, and he was like,
I thought so too.
I think he thought he was just gonna walk him down and hit him whenever he wanted.
He's big.
He's big.
But he used the grabbing and moving and pushing.
Yeah, he did the Lennox Lewis. As soon as you got close, he laid on top.
He knew what he was doing.
My point is, he actually could fight, and Floyd said he was a lot better than I expected. Yeah. So I think initially you're right, but then I think around the 5th round, you saw Floyd picking it up, trying to get rid of him, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
he couldn't hit him. He was missing a lot. And that's timing because he hasn't been sparring a lot and training all the time.
Yeah,
but I think it does hurt him. I think he doesn't need these it's almost like Muhammad Ali going to the WWF back in the day against
Yeah.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
Like,
Andre the Giant.
we don't need that
Yeah.
from these guys, you know. And I
Wow.
know it's Muhammad Ali did it for money back then because he was, you know, they stripped him of his title and he was
Yeah, yeah.
older and all that
They
stuff.
messed
So he
with
lost a lot of money. But why is Floyd doing this?
I don't think Floyd needs the money.
No,
I think he
so.
does. But why would you do
Does
something?
Floyd need the money?
I think he does. I think your lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle.
Yeah, but
for
fame-
the children from, you know,
He made over $100 million
I don't know if that-
against.
So you
I
figure
it's
we'll lose
fame.
50% of that right
No,
away
fame
from
is a
taxes.
bug. So fame is a bug, and this is the truth. So that's this is how this kid Logan Paul. No one even gives a crap. Where did this kid even come from? TikTok or
No,
whatever.
he was,
you-
he was on Mickey Mouse.
no,
man. He
I
was
know,
on
but
Mickey
I'm
Mouse.
saying, but still, fame is a
Mickey
bug.
Mouse Club.
So I'm telling you that. Yeah, he was.
He was. He was.
It's like Britney Spears and
Yeah,
Justin
yeah,
Timberlake,
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
thing, right? So the thing is that that's another thing that would have drove Mayweather to do that. He was falling. People were forgetting about him, and people that are used to being like in the public eye all the time, all of a sudden they start to get forgotten about. They want to be back out in front of that
Is
again.
that why
so you think?
boxing?
So you think
It
he
might
did-
be.
It might be.
It might be.
Because I went to the event the other
But
day.
no,
and
no,
they-
no,
You
because-
got the
listen,
bug. You got the bug.
Logan Paul has the #1 podcast in America. He didn't need to do this. He's making money hand over fist just from his podcast and merchandise, the Maverick brand that he promotes. So he didn't need this. He's got 17 million followers.
Oh yeah.
He didn't need this. He's
No.
making money.
Yeah, but he's making more money that way,
But I'm
and
saying-
he likes it. It's a thing. It's a fame thing. I'm
Did
telling
you
you.
see Mayweather talk about say something about Pacquiao? About he said so. I don't. I
Well,
read it-
Pacquiao's getting ready to fight.
I
Errol
read it
Spence,
earlier.
which is
Mayweather
very
was like,
tough.
"Oh, I don't have to still box because I need money." This and
Right, he
that.
did make that comment. Saying
So
like, he said, unlike
Pacquiao's comeback was, "I don't need the money." He's like, "I'm doing it because I enjoy the sport, and that's why I'm fighting against the best guys in the world that are undefeated because it's about the sport. It's not about the money." You, on the other hand, fighting some
YouTubers.
unknown
Right,
YouTuber
yeah, yeah.
for some
But
money.
hey, shout out to Pacquiao on that.
Yeah.
One. That was good right hand.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you again, like you said, that kid doesn't need to fight,
no,
but he's still going out there, and unless it's
because
completely
for him,
rigged,
it's a win-win.
yeah, but wait, unless it's completely rigged, he's still putting it out there that he could get embarrassed. It could happen.
How do you
He
get
could've-
embarrassed
he could've-
fighting the
he
best
could
fighter
get
in the
knocked
world?
out.
Still, he
that
could
could
get knocked out. He
So
could get
what?
knocked
You
out.
don't belong in there.
So
You're
what?
Nah, you say so, but then
Yeah.
people have
It's like me
egos.
going against Tyson and Tyson knocking me out. I'm not going to be embarrassed.
People have
He's
egos.
supposed to do that.
People have egos.
He's supposed to do that. He's
I
Floyd
know, I
Mayweather.
agree.
Leading up to the fight, you can't be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna whoop you and this and that."
Right.
But that's marketing.
Like
You know
Tyson,
that.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
fight
that-
you. I'm gonna
that's
try my
marketing.
best.
So you don't think any of that was fixed at all?
I think the marketing part of it was.
You don't think anything in the ring was fixed at all?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't
Nope.
think so.
I don't think so.
I think that guy was just big, strong. He trained
He
hard.
is
It
big.
was better
He
than
is big and strong.
Floyd, though. So let's move on to his brother. So, Jake Paul, who just knocked out Ben Askren. If you don't know, Ben Askren's was an MMA fighter, but he was, off for 2 years, had hip surgery, and ended up getting knocked out.
Never had,
They're not a boxer,
an
he's a
accomplished,
wrestler.
wrestler, D1 wrestler, like
Right,
one
right.
of the best in the world.
Right.
Right, one of the best
So,
in the world.
Had no boxing.
So Jake
No
Paul
boxing.
goes in, and Jake Paul's going to fight Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley's a former welterweight, is it? Or
Welterweight.
Yep.
welterweight champion
Five-time
UFC.
Five-time.
Champion.
Yeah.
And he's a
Yeah.
pretty stout guy. But you know what I noticed when I was watching the press conferences and the little face-off? Like Jake Paul is so much bigger than
Taller,
him.
He's
right?
big.
No, just
Taller,
physically
big
thicker
so?
and
Yeah.
bigger.
Jake
Yeah.
Paul's big.
Tyron's wide, though.
No, he looked. That's the first time
Yeah,
I
but he
can
could
look
have
at Tyron Woodley.
deflated. Maybe he wasn't been training like he was.
Well, he's
Yeah.
getting
You know
older
how
too.
that
Your
is.
muscle
No,
mass
that's what I'm
changed.
saying. His shoulders are wide.
But that's the first time I ever looked at Tyron Woodley and thought he looked small. Because when he's got his
he's
shirt off,
always cutting
he's
weight to
ripped
fight
and
those guys that like.
he looks
What are they?
small.
What weight they fighting at?
I guess 180,
Yeah, see, he
190,
fights at 170. I bet you didn't fight that.
180,
I bet
190.
I bet you Jake Paul's cutting down to like 180 or something. 190.
Well,
I
that's
don't know,
the
but he
thing.
looks big. He
You
looks
know-
a lot bigger.
That's what we do in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what we do in wrestling. I mean, I've been coaching and been in the sport like my whole life. And you get a kid you'll get a guy like Todd, built like Todd, have him cut down, suck weight, 12 to 15 pounds,
And MMA.
all of us, and just forget it. I mean, then you have a guy that's actually there at his natural weight, he gets killed.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
Well, when I was fighting professional MMA, I would cut from 205, 210 to 185. And I'd literally cut the last 10 to
185?
185.
I saw some of those pictures.
Yeah.
You were 185 in those?
Yeah.
Wow, man. What'd you have, like 3% body fat?
Probably. But
Yeah.
it was really a water load and cut.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So what do we got? What's the next one on the list there?
So
we talked about Jake.
Jake Paul fighting.
We talked about that. What do we got? What's the
Tyron
next one?
Woodley. Davis versus.
Oh, so we had Javante
Barrios.
Davis versus
Barrios.
Barrios. So Javante Davis is a champion. I think he was a 130-pound champ. I don't know what. No, maybe
Davis
maybe
is-
less.
No, he's
Maybe less. He might be 120 something. He's a small guy. Anyway, he goes up two weight classes to fight a bigger, allegedly stronger guy. And Davis ends up stopping the guy, I think, in the 10th round or whatever it was, 9th, 10th round, with a body shot. So is he the next big thing in boxing? Hulk?
is Javante Davis. Honestly, my opinion of him is kind of I really believe that he's very talented, has a good chin, like one of the best out there. But as a person, I used to follow him on social media, and he just posts I just had to stop following him. He posting things
So he's not
little kids getting smacked and everybody laughing.
right. So he's not
Oh,
a
he's a
media
punk.
friendly type of guy. He's not somebody
No,
that
he
can
just doesn't
promote
have high
as the
character.
face of the company.
He's a
Yeah,
good
so-
character.
I mean, I can't make a decision who he is as a person. I've never met him in person.
Let
But
me
the
see
things
that.
that he's posting, I really
The paper.
couldn't.
Matt, time for a break, right? And we can come back to the Javante Davis discussion.
Well, we're done with Javante.
Well, we'll come back to the next one.
Javante, sorry, we're all done with
Yeah.
this.
So we're gonna take a quick break. All right. I'm sitting in for JT with Todd and Marvin. My name's Ron. This is the We Rise podcast on Naked Sports. You can find us at nakedsports.com. You can find us at Naked Sports on YouTube. And you can find us on Fans Only Sports on Facebook. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
There, we can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
I don't know anything.
Welcome back, We Rise podcast. We are back in the building after a week hiatus. Let's pick it up. We're gonna go to
Hasbulla.
So I don't
Hasbulla.
know if he is. If he's not, Boo Andrade is supposed to get a fight with Triple G.
I've been seeing.
I've heard this. I looked it up a little bit yesterday and today. I don't know if he actually signed the fight, but my understanding from what the research I did was Matchroom, who is managing both, told Triple G that he's been fighting all of these lesser opponents and getting paid these big purses because of his name. But now they're forcing his hand to fight somebody who's another champion, and Boo Boo's name was the one that they.
Let's go! Finally, Rhode Island, stand up.
So now we had Boo
Let's
Boo on the show, right? And Boo Boo was saying that he thought all these guys were ducking and dodging him.
I believe the same thing.
I'm gonna have to say, if this doesn't happen, you're 100% right, because Triple G, if they have to force you to fight a champion that's 30-0, somebody that you get a huge name recognition, somebody you get a big payday, and will draw a lot of pay-per-view if they do a pay-per-view, fan interest in that fight. If they gotta force him to take that fight,
but this is the line they always use. Who have you fought? He's fought everybody that they put in front of him and beat him, right? So my thing is this. He's a world champion. It's not like you're fighting a guy that doesn't have a title or a guy, or undefeated guy that maybe didn't fight nobody. You're fighting a world champion.
Right. And why
he
wouldn't you
beat
want that
everybody
glory?
you put in front of him?
Right.
So you basically take everything he brings to the table if you beat him. So are you scared or not? Let's go.
So we just said earlier that Manny Pacquiao at 40, whatever he is, 40 years old, 40-something years old, is going to fight Errol Spence Jr., who is probably top 3 in the world in boxing, in all of boxing.
Yeah.
And he's going to take him on. Why this guy's in his prime, Errol Spence is in his 20s,
Yeah.
Pacquiao's in his 40s. So Pacquiao's still saying,
I'll fight
anything.
the best.
I'll fight the best guys out there.
Yeah.
I don't care who they are and what their record is.
Yeah.
And then you got to force guys like Triple G, force guys like Charlo, force guys like
I don't know. Charlo,
Canelo
I feel like
to
one of the
fight
Charlo
Adrian.
brothers is always being done. But you know what? Boo Boo calls out both of them.
All of them.
too.
Neither one of them fight them.
Yeah.
Ron, you want to talk about somebody that go for it?
No.
I mean,
It's all right. So the number one,
trying to wrestle
the
me,
number
but
one.
I'm
No,
not
I get it.
saying.
No, I get it. I didn't say that. So the number one in this internet sensation in the world is Hasbulla.
Never heard.
He is Khabib's boy. You know who Khabib is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't know who Hasbulla is?
I know who has.
All right. Okay. So Hasbulla is an 18-year-old man who looks like he's 5. He's got that degenerative disease, and he's from Russia, and he trains with Khabib, and he is taking a world-renowned fight with another guy with the same degenerative disease.
Yeah.
18 years old, looks like he's 5.
I see him promoting it all the time.
They're taking a fight, and it's the number one internet sensation, and probably will be the number one build fight in the world.
No, I don't know.
In the world,
it'll be funny.
Listen, it's gonna be funny, and that's why it'll be the number one fight in the world. It won't be serious; it's not real. But they're both training.
So what's
Go to Hasbulla.
What else gloves are they wearing?
I don't know, but they look really small. They're like this big.
We
It
gave
looks
that,
like
we
this,
gave
but all
that
little
way too
and
much
tiny.
time. So,
No, Hasbulla. Go to Hasbulla
good.
if you want to be entertained.
Here we go.
That's all I'm saying.
So we had some interesting
It is
guests
the
out over the
greatest.
last month and a half. We wanted to
Yeah.
go back and recap. First, I want to thank everybody that came on, that has come on the show.
I see
We
that.
appreciate everybody. We think that everyone adds value to what we're trying to do and building our brand and building our platform. So thank you to everybody that's been on. We had over the last month and a half a really good lineup of guests. We're going to start with, I think, somebody that was really one of our top grabs so far, which was Judge Frank Caprio.
Yeah.
And Judge Caprio came in, awesome interview. Dropped a lot of jewels, as we say in the streets, dropped a lot of jewels on us. And I think he's doing a really good job of changing the perception of that position of judgeship, because those guys are not usually the most compassionate, the most caring people, because they're more on policy and protocol. But Judge Caprio comes on, and if you watch his show, it's called Caught in Providence. I think he's got millions and millions of views on all of his shows.
You know, speaking about Judge Caprio, I posted something not too long ago. It said the one who hands out the death penalty should also swing the axe.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? So when I talk to him, like I'm positive if he was the one that was handing out the death penalty, he would also take that role, because he wouldn't do it
if he didn't believe in it. Right?
If he didn't believe he's doing the right thing. But I feel like that thing's given out freely or easily to people who don't actually have to pull the trigger. You know what I mean?
In certain places, not everywhere.
in this country.
Yeah, but not
I'm
everywhere.
talking about this country.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. The death penalty is not in every state. So it's
Well,
like, you know,
yeah,
He's
it's
just
not.
saying if you.
yeah, I know.
Out the
No, I know. I mean, the one thing about Judge Caprio, and I'd like to say, is that obviously he's like an angel in that court, right? He's an angel in that realm of people. Not every judge. So not to like, you know, I don't want to go after other judges, like,
Speaking angel,
but not every judge has that leeway either. He gets a little more leeway.
But
than
he
other
is the
judges.
Chief Justice, so I guess
He gets that leeway.
Yeah, he earned
But
it.
you see
He
other
earned it.
judges that you know probably are in situations where they couldn't act like that. You know, judge, and maybe they don't
They
want
all
to.
have the right to act that way. When you're a judge, it's like that's your.
I don't know.
It's you have.
It's hard, I'm not a judge, and I didn't.
You have
go-
to follow.
So it's hard for
you
me
have
to
to
say.
follow the law. Like you can't go outside the law. But as far as like
How you treat
CDC
people.
and how you treat people,
Oh, they could
I'll give you an
treat.
example. 'Cause-
They could treat people right, but a lot of them have to follow what the sentencing or what
No,
the
right,
law
right,
would
but
say,
that's the
where-
law.
guidelines.
Yeah.
where Judge Caprio not necessarily.
He,
has
still,
to
he
follow.
does too, though.
but you can still be humane. Like
Because he-
Right.
you watch
Hold
Judge
it up.
Judy,
Right.
and she's always belittling people and talking
Well,
down
that's
and
for
calling
TV, right?
morons and stuff. To me, there's no place for
That's
that.
her shtick.
Yeah, but it's not a good one.
Yeah, it's
Right,
not-
It's
right.
like it's to me, it's like I talked about before. It's like these coaches who demand that the player follow a strict set of rules and guidelines, and then they're grabbing the player, headbutting them, swearing at them. Like there's no place for that. You got to lead by example.
think Jared's gonna do that to me leading up to this fight.
What, headbutt you?
Let's go, Todd. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, he might.
So big shout out to Judge Caprio.
That's
for coming
right,
on.
Judge
Plus,
Caprio. Thank
What was
you for
that,
coming.
that? What he said? I don't wear a badge under my robe. I wear heart. And
Yes.
if a lot of people had that philosophy, I think the world would be a better place.
Amen.
Yep.
I agree.
I agree.
So we're gonna move on. Also, we had
Jamie.
most recently we had Tiger Belletto on,
Gary.
and his son Aiden Belletto. Now the good thing about that was Aiden and Gary's son Gary both were fighting on the same card. And I don't know if you guys watched the show, because I did. Wait a minute, I was here. Anyway, I don't know if you guys watched the show, but Tiger said the one hope that he had was to get his daughter Haley to sing the national anthem at the show, because he'd have all of his children performing on the same situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you were there, you know that he actually got Haley to do the national anthem. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He had both his sons fighting and his daughter singing the national anthem.
And both, congratulations, both of his sons won.
Yeah.
Aiden in his first amateur bout.
And Gary in his, I guess it was his pro debut, right?
I thought he had
Maybe his second
I,
fight.
Yeah,
I
maybe
thought he
it's-
had a few pro.
Not boxing matches. No.
That was
I
Aiden's
know he has
first,
a
right?
bunch of pro
Yeah.
boxing and
Yeah.
MMA.
So I coached Aiden in wrestling in high school, and he didn't do it this year because he was training for the fight. But the kid was aggressive as
He's a
you know,
Belletto. That's
he had
for
to
sure.
learn. He had to learn that sport. But yeah, he didn't get a lot of time under his belt learning it before he stepped away from it. But in the time that he was there, I mean, man, it was just a natural thing that he had.
But
you
it's
know?
in his blood. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like his father was a fighter, his brother's a fighter.
Yep.
He's a fighter, his grandfather. So I mean, that's a long list of tough guys
what
in the
about
same bloodline.
his fight? It was interesting. He really he was aggressive the whole time, and he just walked the kid down, and it's like he was a veteran. Like he had a ton of fights.
Shout out to Aiden Belletto. Good
Yeah.
job, Gary Belletto.
Yeah.
And,
Nice job, Aiden.
And also, what I liked too was, you know, we talked about Tiger and his injury that he suffered that caused him to be in the wheelchair. And he said, "Mom, my life is great every day. Even in that condition that he's in, he still has a great life. He still hasn't let that defeat him." And I just happened to be on his work site. He's building these, I think, 6 beautiful condos in Providence. Really nice on Lincoln Ave. So he's continually working and doing things outside of the
Yeah,
sport
he's
to
motivated.
keep himself busy. He's not. He hasn't let the injury slow him down one bit. So shout out to Tiger Belletto, Aiden Belletto, and Batman Gary Belletto for those
My
wins
man.
and being on the show.
Break
I love
time.
that kid.
Oh, we're gonna take.
So
a break.
yeah,
We'll
Matt,
come
let's
back.
take a break, and then we come back. You finish your list. It's good. All right.
Welcome back. We rise. Let's go.
So we're gonna pick up where we left off. What we're doing is we're just recapping some of the wonderful guests that we've had over the last month and a half or so, and some of the things that stood out in those interviews for us. You know, the inspirational things that stood out in those interviews. So moving down the list, we also had Jamie Angel. She came on the show, and if you guys don't know Jamie Angel, she was a very standout high school basketball player in the state. Got a lot of college offers to play Division II and Division I basketball, but her life took her a dramatic turn as she got into alcohol and drugs, and which caused her to lose those opportunities. And you know, again, as if you didn't watch the show, talking to Jamie, the irony of the whole thing is that Jamie's father
was a police officer.
It was a not just a police officer, but it was a narcotics detective. So you have all of that working against you. Man, I'm gonna embarrass not just myself by losing all the things that I had the opportunity to gain, but here's my dad out here trying to fight this battle, keep drugs off the streets, and then you know
what that makes me think of. So I watched this movie with Kevin Hart yesterday, and the mother had said something, and it really grabbed me. And it said, sometimes you can't squeeze and hold on. Like Jamie's father, you know, drug cop, probably did the best he could, wanted the best for her. But sometimes, you know, children are going to want to learn and are going to learn at their own rate and go through their own process and go through their own things. And sometimes the only thing we can do is outlove the hurt and pain or love, you know, but try not to.
That's Jared's line. You just took Jared's line. You say that.
Oh, no.
So Ron's gonna act like he doesn't know who he is now. You're Jared today.
It's all about love.
There you go. Thank you, Jared. Go ahead, Todd.
Everybody at home, just remember that.
Yeah. So it you know, even Jamie coming on and like she captivated me and made me realize that how blessed we are to just have this show and to be talking to people who've been through different types of things. They don't have to come on here and open up to us, but we've been blessed to have a lot of people come in and open up.
Yeah, tell their whole story.
And tell their story like it is, you know, with you know, no.
They didn't hold anything back.
Yeah,
no reservations.
Back, yeah. So like that, I've learned a lot through these things, but I really learned a lot. Like there's a lot of things about that situation. I even talked to my daughter about that show because my daughter graduated from URI for psychology and things like that, and she works as like a drug counselor and things now. So she was watching it, and it was one aspect of how like I believe that we should be transformed by the renewing of the mind. And Jamie was saying it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like some people see it this way, some people see it that way, and you find the way that works. You know what I'm saying?
But she made a conscious decision, and it was because she lost her finger. She made a conscious decision to say, "Hey,
I'm done."
Not the 12-step. Not to say there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But she just said, "I'm not doing no more. I'm done. I'm done." But it took something
dramatic
to happen to her to get her to that point.
Yeah.
And so I guess the lesson is, A, don't start something if you know it's not good for you, because the outcome's never going to be what you think. And B, to no matter what you're in, you can always turn it around.
Amen.
You know, there's no too far gone. You know, you hear that phrase, someone's too far gone.
As long as you're still alive,
there you
still
go.
got
That
hope.
heartbeat, you got the blood pumping through your veins, you have hope. So thank you, Jamie Angel, for coming on and sharing your story. That was an awesome interview. If you haven't seen it, please go on to the network and check it out, YouTube or Facebook.
You'll learn something. And
we also had, and this was an interesting interview for me, because there was things about this guest, Joe Birchfield, who came on. And if you don't know, Joe was a former, he was a town councilman, president of the town council. Yeah. And his father, who Todd mentioned earlier, is
Mr. B,
is the
big dog,
the head of CES. And when you look at a family like that, and you think like, man, they seem like they got it all going for them, you know. And Joe and I went to the same high school, LaSalle Academy, you know. And we went to the same high school. I love LaSalle, you know. What's the matter with you, Jack?
No, it's not. your average everyday high school. That's for sure.
No, I like it was good, great school.
You gotta be a hard worker to get in that one. Or
You gotta be kind of
with a lot of money.
Or rich.
Or rich.
You gotta be kind of intelligent.
Or rich.
You was rich. You was rich. I heard you.
Marvin was rich.
Definitely not.
Marvin was rich.
So Joe Birchfield comes on, and his family is a prominent family in the state of Rhode Island. And here's a guy that makes it to a really prominent position where people trust him, respect him, and they voted him in. And he wasn't happy. His life still was void. And he, again, like a lot of people, he filled that void with substance.
And from the outside looking in, you're like, oh man, this guy got it all.
Yeah, what's your problem? So he starts to fill that void with alcohol, which turned into drug use, opiates, I believe, and his whole life spiraled out of control. So now when you're under the influence, not to blame it on that, because he made a good opening segue. When
He accepted it.
I accept all responsibility. But it causes you to make bad decisions. When people are drunk or under the influence, they don't make good decisions. And Joey made a bad decision that led to him doing some time in prison. But he came out, he made a decision, right, for his family, for himself, that and the support of his wife and his daughter, that I'm not going to continue on this path. And he's doing wonderful things. He said it's hard work, building your way back
Even
up.
with his health.
Right.
Looking good.
Really
staying in
good. Started
shape.
working out.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is we can forgive ourselves sometime and move forward. But a lot of times society never forgets,
Yeah.
And we're under that scrutiny and that opinion of what society
But
thinks.
the devil is the father of lies.
Well,
It's not who the world says you are. It's who God says you are.
And he has a relationship with God, which
Yes.
is awesome to hear that. But he's doing wonderful things. He's doing construction now, and he's still rebuilding his life. But he's turned it around. And again, a situation where you think, man, this guy, drugs, alcohol, prison, he's done. He's cooked. It's over. But no, he made that conscious choice to turn his life around and head into a different direction. So we got to give a great big shout out to Joe Birchfield. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. We saw him at the fight that CES that just had a couple of Saturdays ago, and he looked good.
He looks good.
So thank you, Joe Birchfield, for coming on. We appreciated you, and we appreciate all our guests. The ones before and the future ones that we're going to have down the road.
I want to get Boo Boo in after that GGG fight. That's going to be interesting.
Hopefully he gets it.
After he's out there.
I want to get him in before the fight and after the fight.
Yeah.
Because
he's holding that 401 stand up belt.
Listen, I think if I don't want this to sound like I'm discrediting Boo Boo's abilities and skill set, but I think if there's any time to get Triple G, it's now.
Get him.
He's 40 years old.
Get him.
He doesn't fight as much, and you start to decline. You start to decline. And he's going in against a younger.
I honestly believe if your heart's in it, you know what I mean? You want to make sure your heart's in it.
Right. He's going against a younger, probably more athletic champion than himself. So it's a great opportunity for Boo Boo to get that name recognition that he's looking for, and force all those other guys who say you ain't fought anybody.
Yeah, then when you say who you fought, I fought
the same guy you fought.
I'm gonna fight you and you and you and you.
The same guy you fought.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that as well. We got some, like I said, the show's continually growing. We're growing as a team, and we're continuing trying to build and give you guys good content. It's not as easy as we make it look.
Jared, we can't wait until you get back from
Absolutely.
Africa, rescuing those buffaloes.
There you go.
You're doing a good thing out
Absolutely.
there. with the
Africa is a city in Montana. Just so you know.
wrestling the big
A lot of people don't know that though, Ron.
Africa, no, it's not.
I know
But that's where the buffaloes
He
are.
actually told me.
That's where the buffaloes are.
Oh, rhinos.
Oh yeah, you see it now. Okay, we got it. No, Africa, Montana.
Pink rhinos.
There you go.
Oh, he's
Wrestling
pink rhino.
All right.
He's wrestling
There you
pink socks out there.
And so,
Pink
We just can't wait for you to be back.
Right. I mean, this is our first time without JT. Man. We had to pull around, you know, out of the bullpen.
You would have been
out of the bullpen.
I don't usually play in the bullpen.
Pinch hitter.
You know, I don't usually play in the bullpen, but I come here to support my boys. That's just the way it is.
There you go.
And there goes my kid running across the street in his pink shorts. I don't know.
That's your son?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
And you probably didn't know where we're at, even though we're right
No, I don't know what he's doing. He's a hot mess.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So now, we talked about the balls and what's going on with them. We talked about Manny Pacquiao and his upcoming fight. We talked about, more importantly, the Hulk and his potential upcoming fight. Because that's more important than all the rest of those things. Now,
Ask Pat Sullivan about potential. And Pat would call me, hey, Todd, you want to fight so-and-so? Didn't matter who it was. I said, Pat, does he want to fight me? He said, yeah. He said he'll fight you. I said, I want to fight him then. That's it. That's who I was. Pat said he misses people like me, Mike Campbell. He's like, it was so easy to do the matchmaking with you guys because when they said, do you want to fight this guy? You
were
said,
like,
yes. Yes, I want to fight him.
So
but I guess it's not like that.
Here's my question to you.
And I don't recommend it, actually.
That's
the hard road.
Right, yeah.
It's been a while. What is inspiring the comeback?
The truth,
because I don't look forward to getting punched in the face again.
When I go to fights and things like that, I do like I'm like, oh, I miss it. You know what I mean? But really what happened was I've been working out. I've been, working hard, sweating, trying to get in shape. And then I'm 42 years old and I want to do a pro boxing match. I've always wanted to do a pro boxing match. I got into mixed martial arts and things like that. I started in Kempo karate when I was a kid, but boxing was really like my first love. I love boxing, you know what I mean? As far as a sport, any sport goes. And I actually love boxing because I can walk in the gym and put on a pair of gloves. And because I couldn't afford cleats and the cups and this and that. Boxing, you could just walk in. And a lot of gyms usually have like an extra pair of gloves and you just learn how to box, you know what I mean? So I felt like it was for people like me. It belonged to people like me who grew up a certain way, who had to fight through adversity and things like that. And then to watch these people grow and to watch these people on TV, you know what I mean? Even like Mayweather. I used to love watching Mayweather years ago because, his father was in boxing and to see him come up through, like I know his father went through a lot of stuff and all that, or just even Muhammad Ali, whoever went through these things. And now I'm like, I want to get my opportunity. I want to get my chance before it's too late. I still feel young. I still feel strong, Right now, I'm kind of heavy, 240, but,
So that's the question, too. So in lieu of losing a ton of weight, which is going to make the comeback extremely grueling for you, would you consider fighting at heavyweight?
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, I felt like I should have probably fought more light heavyweight in MMA because cutting all that weight, even though I would train so hard, sometimes the cut was so hard that I would gas almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Yeah, it was too much.
I mean,
so I should have prepared more, maybe try to cut some more muscle. But in boxing versus MMA, like you fight, like I would spar a lot of guys. Like Josh Diekman's a beast. I would spar him. He would fight at 205 in heavyweight, and I would do okay in striking sparring with him. He was a lot stronger in the wrestling department. But like Greg Rebello, he would fight at light heavyweight, and I would do okay with him. So I'm fine with the boxing aspect with anybody, any weight class. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna have to cut weight and have some 250-pound, 6'9" guy laying
right.
on
That's
top
the
of me,
thing.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
right.
saying? That's tough, man, to deal with. Like,
So
we're throwing punches.
what do you
I'm
think?
okay. My chin's good.
What do you think your ideal weight is, target weight for this fight?
I'm looking to. I'm hoping I can get down to like 220 and cut.
Oh, you can get
205.
to 220.
Why would you want to go to 205? You're gonna fight heavyweight.
I can cut that easy.
Yeah, but like, you're gonna lose
205,
it.
what's that?
But you're talking
It's
about
not
heavyweight.
heavyweight.
No, it's the lower end. You gotta be
Yeah.
you gotta be 220 and up.
Heavyweight.
I want to be fast. I'm a fast striker. I'm usually faster than most people at middleweight, heavyweight. So I want to be in shape and fast. You know what I mean?
But you will be 220. You'll be fine.
I don't want-
I don't think you should go any
I
lower
think
than that.
if you're at 240 right now, I think 220 is lean.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Especially if you
bottom
cut
up.
right.
Right.
That's all. Just
So
cut right.
what's below?
It's cruiserweight, and there's nobody that fights.
Cruiserweight's what? 201?
No,
What's
cruiserweight is like 190 to 201 pounds.
201 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes to heavyweight.
11 pound swing.
Yeah, but most heavyweights are 220 and up now. You don't really find heavyweights less than 220.
Yeah.
You don't even find that in the UFC. You know what I mean? Most of those heavyweights.
The heavyweights 260.
Well, they got a super heavyweight division now too, so which is 250 and up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, the big boys. So all right. So speaking of the boxing and the fighting, we do have some young folks here who are looking to make their debut in the upcoming Golden Gloves in August. I have a young lady, Grace. Grace is looking to fight next month.
Really?
Yeah, they got the silver gloves. Hungry. She wants to go. Grace is a beast. So we're looking to get Grace in next month, Massachusetts, for the silver gloves, and then the Golden Gloves in August. So we're looking at hopefully getting Vicky a fight in August on the Golden Glove card. We're also looking to get one of the guys here, Tristan, get him in there. So, you know, trying to get these guys ready for the for combat.
Stuff going on. Also,
JT is hosting his second, I believe, right? Brawl for it all?
No, it would be like.
Is it more than one?
Two. Yeah, two. It would be like
his third.
It would be his third.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so his third Brawl for it all in September.
Something like that.
And you know, that's where Ron's gonna make his debut, and Matt's gonna make his debut at the Brawl for it all in September. I'm sure they won't have any problem finding a competition.
They're gonna fight for who's the president.
And
I'm gonna make my debut as a ring announcer.
Whatever you want to do, as long as you're there, as long as you're competing.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot of those things coming up soon. We're looking forward to getting the competition. Everybody's been kind of locked down for a little while because of the COVID, and so it'd be good to get back in the mix, man. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Todd's going to take us home in the usual Hulk fashion.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
1 Timothy 4.
Reach it.
Hold on. 4. I sent it to you earlier.
Yeah. So that means you should have it. Just go to the text message.
4 what? 4 what? Hulk 1 Timothy 4.
Go to my text message you sent me.
While they're looking for that,
oh yeah, real quick.
Go Big Blue.
What's that?
Michigan. You were you have an Ohio State hat on, right? Go Big Blue.
It's 2 Timothy.
Oh, 2 Timothy. That's why.
1:7.
Yeah, I had to do this one.
Let's
2
go.
Timothy 1:7.
Wow, he's got it all organized.
Yeah, you know.
No, I.
No, you really did.
God, everybody's on the edge of their seat. They're waiting to hear this.
All right.
You want to read it off of my phone?
Yeah. You gave me the wrong one.
Also, since you're watching this on Naked Sports Yard Olympics, July 10th,
sent me.
Come out, go to nakedsports.com and sign up. We have over 10 vendors right now for the event. All these guys will be here playing cornhole and ladder ball. They got to come. Everyone on the team has to be there. Come support a great cause, Make a Difference Foundation, which is for autism, and they're also going to be given to Gigi's Playhouse for Down syndrome.
Very good. Thank you,
All right.
Ron, for that.
Okay.
Hulk, are you ready?
Ready
We
now?
have to bypass you.
All right, so check it out.
I'm waiting.
In this day and age, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen." Living in this paranoia, or the mask, and this and that, and that. So I'm telling you, seek ye the kingdom of God first, and all His righteousness, and everything else will be added onto you.
I like
that's Matthew 6:33, which brings us to with what will be added on is Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Let's go.
All right. I still think I have a sound mind. You got one?
Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't have the spirit of fear.
That wasn't really convincing.
I don't have the spirit of fear.
I like it, Hulk. Thank you guys for doing the show. Appreciate it. Had a good time. See you next week. And look forward to having Jay Tizzle back in the house.
Let's go.
We rise in the building.
that we don't know. So we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know. So we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 rise. Messengers of Jesus Christ, fighting till we see his kingdom. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know. So we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They gonna keep us low. They think that we don't know. So we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up.